This is Kite Cutter TV with another presentation. We gotta talk about this. Okay, guys, yesterday I reported on a story that there were 80 illegal immigrants stuck in the back of a tractor trailer. What actually happened was one of these illegal immigrants in the back had a cell phone, and because they were running out of oxygen, they decided to call 911. As of now, I have no new updates, and I'm not sure exactly at the moment what happened to these people. Hopefully, they survived, but at the moment, we're just not sure. We got a lot of other topics to get into. We have 3 Cuban nationals that were trying to make their way to Florida when their boat actually capsized and they got stuck on an isolated island in the Bahamas for 33 days. It was only until the Coast Guard was flying over and saw these people that they were rescued. Since Joe Biden has come into office, he's laid out the welcome mat, and illegal immigrants think now that the border is open. In January, they had over 78,000 illegal immigrants arrested. Now, what Joe Biden's trying to do is reinstate catch and release. He's trying to limit ICE on the amount of people that they can deport, not allowing them to deport DUI criminals, assault criminals, and things of that nature. So why you would want to keep these people in the country that are breaking our laws in the first place doesn't make any sense. But we got that and a lot more to check out. Check this out.
Update on an incredible story we brought you last night. 3 Cuban nationals rescued after becoming stranded on a deserted island in the southern Bahamas for weeks. And tonight they are being held in Pompano Beach. And that's where we find Local 10 News reporter Roy Ramos with new information about their ordeal tonight. Roy.
Calvin, 33 days these Cuban nationals were stranded on that island. Fortunately, they were able to be rescued by the U.S. Coast Guard and taken to a hospital in the Florida Keys where they were treated for dehydration and fatigue. But they have since been brought right here to this immigration facility in Pompano Beach where they are now being processed. A woman and 2 men found on Anguilla Key, that's part of the Key Sal Banks in the Bahamas, after officials say the Cuban nationals were stranded for 33 days. This video shows a plane with U.S. Coast Guardsmen dropping off food, water, and a communication radio to the 3 people down below. The castaways able to flag down the aircraft similar to this one that departed from the U.S. Coast Guard Air Base in Opelika Monday, conducting routine patrols. Fortunately, the pilot noticed their eye-catching signals for help.
They noticed some unusual flags down there, some different colors, so they noticed some orange. They went back around to check it out, and they noticed 3 people signaling them.
The crew able to communicate with the stranded people with that radio. That's when they learned their vessel capsized in rough waters, and they swam to the nearby island where they'd been surviving for more than a month.
It was incredible. I don't know how they did it.
Because of rough weather, the people were air rescued Tuesday by another U.S. Coast Guard helicopter crew out of Clearwater, Florida.
They were actually tucked up in the rocks.
That air commander telling us the 3 were also eating conch shells and rats to stay alive, but due to lack of fresh water, doesn't believe they would have survived much longer.
A rescue swimmer found them to be fatigued, dehydrated, and showing definite signs of being out in the elements.
The castaways taken to the Lower Keys Medical Center in Key West to be treated for dehydration, extreme exposure to the sun, and fatigue. Wednesday, we learned that woman and both men were transferred to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Facility in Pompano Beach. So what happens now? Well, I just got off the phone with an official with ICE who tells me that these 3 Cuban nationals will now plead their case to an immigration judge who will then decide whether they can stay here in the U.S. or have to be deported back to the country of Cuba. We'll keep you posted. For now, here in Pompano Beach, Roy Ramos, Local 10 News.
What a story. Thank you, Roy. Chilling cries for help. A man says he is trapped inside a tanker with 80 people, all believed to be undocumented.
The man in the 911 call says they are dying. Tonight, brand new video of what the sheriff thinks may be the tanker carrying the immigrants. Investigators are still on the hunt for it right now.
Eyewitness News reporter Henry Ramos says the 911 calls for help. We do want to warn you, you may find them hard to hear.
A man cries for help to 911 Bexar County Dispatch saying he is trapped inside a tanker with 80 other people. In Spanish, the man claims they are dying and their oxygen is running out. He says they're in a tanker that would carry water, and you can hear so much distress in the background from other people. The frantic caller tells dispatch they're undocumented. He didn't know their location in San Antonio. The calls end up dropping. BCSO used pings from cell phone towers to figure out the truck
may have been on I-35 near Fisher Road.
Be on the lookout for a white in color 18-wheeler full trailer being similar to a tanker, followed by a black Chevy truck.
This is surveillance video from a business near Von Army. You can see here a white tanker following a black pickup truck pull over to the shoulder. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar believes this might be the tanker they're looking for.
This truck could be here locally, or it could be in another part of the country by now. We just don't know.
The sheriff says the 911 calls, which came in on Monday, are disturbing.
These smugglers don't care. They cram these people in because the more people they can get in, the more it increases their bottom line. But the victims themselves, I just want to know if they're all alive and accounted for.
Henry joins us live outside the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
Henry, BCSO isn't the only law enforcement agency involved here. Who else is investigating?
I did hear from the Department of Homeland Security tonight. They tell me that HSI, which is Homeland Security Investigations, they're the investigative arm of DHS. They're looking into this incident, calling it possible human smuggling. They couldn't release many details about this case since it's still ongoing. However, if you know anything about it, you're asked to contact law enforcement immediately. We're live outside the sheriff's office tonight. Henry Ramos, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.
With detention facilities packed, Biden is completely losing control of the border. No surprise there. Joining me now, former commissioner of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, is a visiting fellow at the Heritage Foundation as well. Mark Morgan is back with us. Mark, great to see you.
Thanks, Grant.
What do you think the crisis will become on the border? How bad will it get, Mark?
Well, Grant, first of all, I couldn't have just outlined what we're facing right now as good as you just said it. So you were spot on in everything you just said. This is something that absolutely was addressed. Yeah, you did, Grant. I mean that. Look, this is something.
I appreciate it.
Well, Grant, this is very important because the promise, the Florida settlement agreement, this horrible court ruling, is what really drove the crisis that we went through in 2019. That's what drove the families and the unaccompanied children, because as you said, under that agreement, we had to let them in. President Trump closed that through the Migrant Protection Protocol. It ended by February of 2020. We had reduced that by 75, 80%. The families coming up had all but trickled off. So it was successful. And what did President Biden do? His first couple of days, he removed it. He took it away. And so now with everything else that he's removed and rescinded, no wonder right now 3,500 people are trying to illegally enter our border every single day right now. So that's why I say, Grant, people ask what's going to happen. It's already happened. The crisis is already upon us. 3,500 apprehensions every single day. That is a crisis.
I know I've talked to Border Patrol agents personally, and they say they are overwhelmed in these sections where really it was starting to see, and as you mentioned, the stop of the flow here. But I guess, why should we be surprised? You know, the Democrats have been weak on crime everywhere in the heart of the country. There's no ramifications anymore for committing crimes. Now they're just telling illegals coming here, there's no ramifications if you're going to try to cross into the country illegally. So why would they stop?
I said the same thing. Why wouldn't they come? If you get here, we're going to release you. Once you're here illegally, we're going to protect you from lawful deportation. And then if you stay here long enough illegally, we're going to reward you with free health care, amnesty, and expansion of DACA. Look, right now, Grant, the only thing that's keeping that 3,500 from being a catastrophic crisis is the CDC orders of Title 42. So it's in place right now. But as you said, because of the numbers are so great, Mexico now, they're overwhelmed. They're out of capacity. So they're now, and you said like in the RTB area, one of the epicenters, even under Title 42, they stopped taking people back. And so you already are seeing catch and release in some areas. Once Title 42 goes away, that 3,500 overnight becomes a catastrophic crisis. And there's nothing the Biden administration can do because they've removed every single effective policy. But let's be honest, that's what they want. They want the illegal migration to continue, release, stay here, next wave of amnesty, and we know that exactly why they want to do that, and that's what they're doing.
Of course, self-made Democratic voters coming here. Real quick, last question for you. Biden says he's not going to deport anybody that is accused or convicted of assault and DUI. What is the motivation for not deporting people that are a danger to our society?
Grant, I don't have a good answer for you. It's absurd. Unless you're known or suspected terrorist or convicted murderer or rapist, you're here, you're free. And just by the way, so DUIs is kind of important. You know, my father was killed by a drunk driver. I've talked to countless angel families whose loved ones who died at the hands of someone that was here illegally while they were drunk. Don't tell me that's not important. One last thing, I know we got to wrap this up, but look, right now, you could be a gang member. You could be arrested for rape, but not convicted and released. And right now, under the Biden administration policies, that gang member, that alleged rapist, gets to go free, stay in this country. That's where we're at right now.
Well, this is my message to everyone. It's been one for a long time. Personal protection. Take it upon yourself. Nobody out there to protect you. This is why we have a Second Amendment, for this reason, so you can protect yourself and your families. Mark Morgan, I appreciate it. I know you stay in touch with the men and women that work the border. You make sure you give them a big thumbs up from all of us here at Stinchfield.
Will do. I always do. Thanks, Grant.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, God bless. Peace.